Okay, so if you're in the mood for a holiday story that's got a super grumpy neighbor, a ridiculously over-the-top Christmas fan, and a town competition that just gets completely out of hand, well, you are gonna love this. Today, we are unwrapping the hilarious, festive, enemies-to-lovers story that is How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. Yep, we're jumping headfirst into a world cooked up by the amazing Meghan Quinn. And seriously, just look at this cover. The bright colors, the fun font, you just know this isn't gonna be some quiet, gentle Christmas story. It promises a wild ride, and trust me, it delivers. So let's set the scene. We're in a place called Kringletown. And in Kringletown, Christmas isn't just some holiday that rolls around once a year. Oh no, it is a full-on competitive sport. The entire town's existence revolves around the annual Christmas Kringle contest. Seriously, think of it as the Super Bowl, but with way more tinsel. Of course, you can't have a perfect Christmas town without its own resident Grinch, right? And Kringletown's Grinch is coal black. This guy is so over the 24/7 holiday madness. All he wants in the world is some peace and quiet. You know, a silent night, or better yet, a totally silent winter. Yeah, well, about that quiet winter he was dreaming of, it's about to get a very loud, very sparkly, and very cheerful interruption. And here she is. Meet Storee Taylor. She moves in right next door to Cole to take care of her Aunt Cindy. And as you can see, she is his polar opposite in every single way. She is basically a human snow globe of festive energy, and her #1 goal is winning that Kringle contest. To a guy like Cole, she's not just a new neighbor, she is a walking, talking, Christmas carol singing nightmare. And Storee does not ease into things. We're talking about decorations so bright they could probably guide planes in for a landing. Christmas music is blasting from sunup to sundown, and there's this never-ending stream of holiday activities. Cole's quiet life, it never stood a chance. So where does all this tension finally explode? Well, it all comes down to the Christmas Kringle contest, of course. This is the main event. Storee is dead set on winning it for her aunts, and for Cole, well, that's the one thing he absolutely cannot let happen. The battle lines have officially been drawn in gingerbread and glitter. This whole situation just pushes our Grinch right to the edge. He knows he has to fight back. He needs a plan, something so sneaky, so completely over the top, that it's guaranteed to crush this new queen of Christmas. So, what genius idea does he come up with? And here it is, his grand plan to sabotage the holidays. But the real kicker, the absolute madness of it all, is step 3. To make his sudden love for Christmas seem real, he decides he has to fake a romance with Storee herself. His big idea, they'll be the perfect holiday couple. It's a plan so completely nuts, you just know it's gonna blow up in his face. And this, right here, is where things get really good. Because you can only fake it for so long, right? This quote says it all. What begins as an act slowly shifts into something undeniably real. All that pretending, all those staged moments, well, they start to feel a little less like an act. You know, this whole shift from fake to real isn't some big dramatic event. It's all these little moments that add up. It's the quiet, snowy evenings they spend together planning. It's when getting ready for the competition stops feeling like a chore and starts being actual fun. It's the hand-holding and the so-called practice moments that suddenly feel way too real. All these little things start chipping away at the lie they're both telling. So, as you can probably guess, as we get closer and closer to the Kringle contest finale, the pressure is just immense. The rivalry between them is at its peak, but now their hearts are in the mix too. This fake romance has created a very real and very, very messy tangle of feelings. Which leaves us with the biggest questions of all, doesn't it? In this epic showdown between the town Grinch and Miss Christmas, who actually wins the big prize? Does Cole's crazy plan to steal the contest work, or does Storee's Christmas spirit conquer all? And maybe more importantly, when a romance starts out as a complete sham, whose heart is the one that gets stolen for real in the end? Well, to find out who wins the Kringle and whose heart gets captured, you're just gonna have to read the book. It is the perfect, cozy, laugh-out-loud read for the holiday season. And for that, there's a link to this book in the description of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me for this festive deep dive.